guys, welcome back to my channel. I am sitting somewhere different today. I don't know why. I just felt like changing it up a little bit, so I did. I wanted this to be a pretty chill, laid back video, so I'm sitting in front of my little couch. I have my girl's footprints back here, which, I mean, how cute is that? How cute is that? And I just wanted to kind of chat with y'all because I'm going to be doing the next installment in my top 5 favorites series, and I'm changing it up a little bit because what I have been doing is I've been updating based off of my previous top 5 in whatever category I'm talking about. And I'm kind of starting a new category today. I think technically I was supposed to be doing primers, but I'm going to save that for next month. And today I'm going to be talking all about my top 5 favorite makeup brands. I posted a picture on my Instagram stories, kind of like the new question sticker that they can put up. And I told y'all I was on my way home from a road trip and I was bored and to ask me questions. So a lot of y'all did. And one of your questions was, what's your favorite makeup brand? And honestly, I get this from my clients a lot as well. Like, what's your favorite makeup brand? And I've said this before, I can't say one brand. There is not one single brand that I have tried that I love everything that I've tried from that brand. That makes sense. It just doesn't happen. I don't think anybody can say that. There are brands that I've loved 90% of what I've tried, and they're the ones that I'm going to be talking about today. But it's very rare for me to just love and adore every single thing about a brand. So I had to really think about it, and I ended up putting 2 answers because I just could not narrow it down. And it made me think to actually do a video based on that question. What are my top 5 favorite brands? Because y'all ask and my clients ask, and I just thought it would be fun to challenge myself to really, truly think about what they would be when push comes to shove. So that's what I did. Put a little disclaimer on here. If I have said that I love a brand in general before, I still love that brand. This was really hard for me to narrow down. So I'm just letting you know that there easily could have been 3 to 4 other brands put into this video. And I will tell you those as kind of honorable mentions at the end. But if I really had to narrow it down to the top 5, these are what it would be. I will say that I thought long and hard. I really wanted to put Beautycounter in this because if you don't know, I am a consultant for Beautycounter. I absolutely love Beautycounter, but I did not want people to think that I'm just talking about that brand because I sell it. So I'm not going to include that. It is one of my very favorite brands. I have a whole separate Instagram and YouTube based on clean beauty and Beautycounter. So if you're interested in that, you're more than welcome to follow over there. But I don't want anybody to think that it's swayed because I'm a consultant for them. So just going to let y'all know that, even though it probably would have made a spot in my top 5. So without further ado and no further blabbering, let's get to my top 5 all-time makeup brands. So instead of just telling you what the brands are and leaving it at that, I'm going to tell you what my standout favorites are within that brand, maybe like 2, 3 max. And then what I'm going to do is over the next few months, I am going to actually do full face tutorials with each of these 5 brands. So you can see my favorite products within the brand at work, in use, demoed on the face. So I just thought that that would be fun, and I'll kind of start a series within a series. So let's start in no particular order. And I say no particular order because really and truly it is no particular order. Typically on my top 5s, I will do like 4, and then I will save my favorite within that category for the last. I don't have a favorite. I just don't. Like, these brands, they're just so unique in their own right. It's very hard for me to choose. So what does it take to make it to my top 5 favorite brands? What does a brand have to have? What does it have to do? What does it have to stand for to be able to make it into my top 5? Basically, the aesthetic has to match with mine. I prefer a more non-Instagram type makeup on myself and my clients. So I do like a brand that is going to be geared more towards the natural, dewy, glowy, everyday woman. I want the packaging to be okay, but the packaging is not a huge indicator of whether or not I'm going to love it. I've never been one to buy or not buy a product based on packaging. I have to be excited about new launches from that brand. So if basically everything they bring out, I'm like, yes, I want to try, then that kind of tells me they're a favorite brand of mine. And 90% of what I do try, I have to like. I mean, if it's a brand that I only like 50% of what they make, I can't put them into my favorites. So let's go ahead and get started because I've been rambling for a long time. The first brand I'm going to talk about is probably the one that I'm going to do my first full face with, and it is Laura Mercier. I've loved Laura Mercier for years, but probably within the last year and a half to maybe even 2 years, I've fallen more and more in love with the brand. Again, the aesthetic just, it holds true to what I love and what I believe in. They aren't like full of winged liners in their ad campaigns. It's not, 18 different shadows on your eyes. It's just a classic makeup look. I like the dewiness that they offer in some of their ad campaigns, but I also like that they offer matte because I need both for my clients. So the whole aesthetic really draws me to Laura Mercier. But then again, the more products that I use from them, the more I fall in love with them. And the two standout products I'm going to talk about right now, and obviously you'll hear a lot more in my full face, are the tinted moisturizers. I have the illuminating one and the oil-free version, both in the color Natural Radiance and Natural. Love these. Have used these in a couple of tutorials. If you haven't seen that, I don't know if I'll mix these because I also really love the Flawless Fusion. I carry that in my kit because it works on almost everybody and it lasts all day long. So I love the foundation products, those two in particular from Laura Mercier. And then the standouts for me recently are their highlighters. And this one is the Indiscretion Face Illuminator. Y'all, this is no joke. I have both of their highlighters on my face today. I love this highlight. It will show up in my favorites. It is absolutely amazing. I really want to grow my collection and have all the colors. It is a highlight that will never show texture on your skin. It's absolutely gorgeous. And then I think the one that she's most famous for is the Matte Radiance Baked Powder and Highlight 01. I just have this little deluxe size sample, but y'all, I've been using this forever. I've been working on it forever, and while the dome has flattened considerably, I don't find myself hitting pan anytime soon. But if and when I do, well, really when I do, I will most definitely be buying the full size. All right, the next brand I want to talk about is Bobbi Brown. I have always loved Bobbi Brown. Always, 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 always. The aesthetic is right up my alley. My dream job is to work for Bobbi Brown as like a career. Like that is just where it's at for me. I absolutely adore Bobbi Brown. I adore her products. I think they work on a ton of people, and I adore the aesthetic the most, I think, out of all the brands I'm going to talk about, because it truly is the everyday woman. It is putting 4 products on your face and having it be your makeup for the day. It is turning those 4 products into a night out look by adding only 2 products. It's a bold lip with a bare eye. I mean, it's just, it makes me giddy thinking about the aesthetic of Bobbi Brown. It's just who I am as an artist, fits that brand. Because my specialty is bridal, my brides don't want to look like a different person. They want to look like themselves, enhanced. And that's my job. And so I think having the aesthetic of Bobbi Brown is exactly what that is. It's just an enhanced version of yourself. Can you tell I love this brand? So the standouts for me are their bronzers. I've talked about them a ton. This is Stone Street. I have a couple more in my kit. I have Stone Street on today as my bronzer. Absolutely love those bronzers. They are all matte, at least the actual bronzing powders. I think some of the illuminating bronzing powders obviously aren't. Just absolutely gorgeous. These are a few of the blushes I have from her, which are another standout. Tawny, Pale Pink, and Nectar. Tawny, Pale Pink, and Nectar, sorry. I either mix these in with another blush or just use these on pretty much 90% of my clients. They are very nice. They are very long lasting. They're not as long lasting as the Beautycounter ones. Nothing is, in my opinion. But they just suit pretty much all skin tones. I've said it before a lot, but Tawny is my favorite for mature skin. Love Tawny. These are just a couple of the eyeshadows that I have from her. I have a couple singles too. And again, you'll see more in the full face, but I use these a lot in my kit. All this stuff has come from my kit except for Stone Street. Use them a lot. I like the foundations. I like the shadow sticks. I like the lipsticks. Sandwash Pink is a staple for brides. Probably between that and Faux from MAC is my most used colors. So just love Bobbi Brown. Okay, another brand. This is probably the newest brand to my collection that I am going to be talking about today. And when I say new, I'm going to say within the last year. But I've fallen hard for this brand. And the fact that it's a clean brand makes it even better in my book. And it is Glo Skin Beauty. I adore Glo Skin Beauty. I really like every single thing I've tried from them. And I've tried a lot. So the standout products for me are their Perfecting Powder. It's what I have on today. I love this powder with every single foundation I have ever worn it with. It's absolutely gorgeous. Never, ever, ever, not once has it ever looked like powder on my face. I have gone very hard on this and it's still going strong. I haven't even put a dent in it. So gotta love that. I have to mention their bronzer in Sunlight. Adore their bronzer. Their blushes, I have 5 of their blushes. I will be talking more in the full face about those. And then their eyeshadow palettes. I love their foundation. I love a lot from Glo Skin Beauty. So there's still a few things that I want to try, but overall I really do love the clean aspect of it and just the fact that their products for a clean brand really do work. A lot of clean beauty companies, and not so much anymore, but I feel like when I first started getting into makeup a long time ago, it just wasn't a thing where the longevity wasn't there. They didn't blend as well. I mean, it's harder when you can't put, you know, a lot of synthetic ingredients in your products to create something that's actually going to work, and everything that I've tried from Glo Skin Beauty works. All right, the next is probably no surprise. In fact, the next 2 are the answers that I gave as a tie for that question on Instagram, and it's just because I felt so pressured to actually put something, but they did in fact make it into my top 5, so they are some of my very favorites. But this is Hourglass. Hourglass Cosmetics can do no wrong. I say that. I wasn't the biggest fan of the foundation stick, however their Illusion foundation, oh, so good, and it's probably going to be the one that I use in my full face. But what really stands out to me through Hourglass is their powder products. And the reason I love Hourglass so much is because I feel like it's all about the skin. They do have eyeshadows. They just launched some, you know, the single pot eyeshadows. I used them in a tutorial. They have eyeshadow palettes, and eyeliners, and they have a full line. But I feel like their emphasis really is on the skin, the finish of the skin, the glow of the skin, the look of the skin. And my favorite part of a face to work on is the skin. If someone came to me and said, I just want, you know, lashes or mascara and some lip gloss, but I really want my skin to be great, that's like my favorite, because that's where I get to put all my energy into, and it's just my favorite thing to work on. So I love that about Hourglass. And so their powder products do stand out. I'm going to talk about one cream product, and it's probably the newest to my collection, and it's the Vanish Stick Highlighter. This is in the color Champagne Flash. I love this because it's one of the few cream highlighters, and I don't even know if you're going to be able to see it because I'm not quite sure how this lighting is going to be, but it's one of the first, or one of the few cream highlighters that I find I can blend over powder and it still looks amazing. And that doesn't disappear under powder highlighter. So it adds to it without disappearing. A lot of powder highlighters will overpower a cream highlight, and it's like, why did I even put it on? It doesn't really make a difference. And I feel like this one does not get overpowered and does make a difference. So I love that. But y'all know, this, the Ambient Lighting Powder, is the one makeup product that if I do my makeup, I can't do it without. I can't. I will never be without this product. I get asked so many times, what do I buff my skin out with? And it is this. I use the color Radiant Light, every single day after I do my makeup, or every day that I do my makeup, I will take a duo fiber brush and I will buff out my entire face. And the difference that it makes is sometimes imperceptible. Sometimes it's like, whoa, wow, that just saved my face. Because if you go a little bit too hard on the bronzer or the blush or even the highlight, buffing it out with this will give this filter-like finish to your skin and just make it absolutely glorious. I have 3 other colors in my kit. There is not a client that I work on that I do not use an Hourglass product in some form or fashion, and most of the time it's the ambient lighting powders. I also adore their blushes. I have a palette. I have a couple of singles. I have a mini single. I have on this palette today the Incandescent Electra, Brilliant Nude, and Euphoric Fusion Ambient Strobe blushes, and I just take my blush through all of them and then applied it to my cheeks. I like them because they're a little bit shimmery too, so it adds to the highlight. You can just not use a highlight, but that's just not me. I'm going to use a highlight too. And then their highlights are amazing. This made it into my top spot for highlighters in my updated top 5 highlighters. The Ambient Metallic Strobe Lighting Palette, and then I also have the Ambient Strobe Lighting Powder in Brilliant Strobe Light as a single. Love, 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 and I just really think that it's not a gimmick. They do wonders for your skin. And honestly, I think out of all of these, mature skin is going to benefit the most from Hourglass powder products. They lay so flawlessly. So it just, you can't go wrong with Hourglass. And finally, my last brand within my top 5 category has to go to Bare Minerals. Bare Minerals is such an old school brand that I have found is really stepping up their game lately. I've always liked them, but I feel like their newest launches and everything they come out with lately has been really spot on. What I have found is that if you go to the Bare Minerals website, their reviews are not good. I don't always trust reviews. I mean, I look at them, but I really have to try a product out for myself most of the time because some of those reviews can be very skewed. Some of them can be from people that have never worn makeup in their life, and if it doesn't work exactly right the first time, they're going to give it a bad review, and that's just not fair. You know, you got to take it with a grain of salt because honestly, I truly love Bare Minerals. The standout products for me I have on my skin today are their foundations. I have yet to try, I mean, it's been a long time ago when I tried their original powder foundation. I have purchased it recently because I want to try it some more. But the standout foundations to me are the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Performance Wear Liquid Foundation and the Complexion Rescue. I'm beating a dead horse when I talk about the Complexion Rescue because, y'all, I've talked about it so much. It made it into my top 5 foundations, made it into my favorite tinted moisturizers skin tint video. This one has grown on me like no other. This has become one of my very favorite foundations. I have mixed the two, and that's what I have on my skin today. It just gives a flawless finish. This gives a much more natural finish. This gives a flawless, almost full coverage finish. You put it together and it's like they had the most wonderful baby ever. And I just love the effect. So those two in particular, I absolutely love from Bare Minerals. And this has become my all-time favorite mascara, hands down, no competition, the Bare Minerals Lashtopia. If anybody has ever asked me, like, not within the last month because I went through a whole one of these and I just opened a second one. But anytime before that, people were like, oh my goodness, what do you have on your lashes? It was always this. It's absolutely perfection in my book. It has a big natural hair, kind of fat wand, but it just, I mean, I have it on today. It just does wonders for your lashes. I also have to give a shout out to something I never hear anybody talking about anymore, and it's the Bare Minerals loose eyeshadows. So this is kind of a collection of all of them. I used to carry this in my kit a long time ago. I don't anymore, but y'all, I love these. I have Vanilla Sugar on my eyes today. I don't even know if they make that anymore because I do know they kind of transition their colors quite a bit. I love Queen Phyllis. That's like I think a cult favorite from long ago. I just think they don't get enough love. A lot of people don't want to deal with loose eyeshadows, and I get that, but even the matte ones work really well. And I just, again, I don't think they get enough attention and that they're very underrated still, but I will be using them in my full face. So after that very long-winded video, I have completed my 5 favorite makeup brands. I know that some of y'all are going to agree and some of y'all are going to disagree, and that's okay. I welcome healthy conversation and debate in the comments. I don't welcome negativity. So I would love for you to comment on your favorite brand of all time. And I really, some people may like know right then. I really challenge you to really think about it. Like really dig deep and think about why this is your favorite brand. What constitutes the reasons for this being your favorite brand. And I think it would be awesome to start that conversation in the comments, because I would absolutely love to know your top favorite makeup brand of all time. And it would even be great if you put your favorite products within that brand as well, because you know, I'm always adding things to my shopping list. So hopefully you enjoyed this video and don't mind the more laid back little sitting on the floor type vibe we have going right now. I just wanted to change it up. I needed something different. So as always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure and like and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future videos. And stay tuned for the full faces using these brands. I'm excited to challenge myself to use only those products. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day.